Ain't no fetish like the one I got. Put the balls at my feet, I'ma rip the shot. Welcome back to the Footy Fetish Show, ladies and gentlemen, where the fetish is real and the footy is soccer. Ladies and gentlemen, soldiers of the Footy Fetish Army, we have some fellow Footy Fetish Army soldiers with us, and that's Soul, S-O-U-L-J-A-S, soldiers of the Footy Fetish Army. But first of all, before we do that, today's topic, we're going to fucking break down that transfer window. A lot of weird things going on with that transfer window. We need to know what's going on. But first, Ocho, what have you been doing? Who you been?
Yeah! Back on the mic with the Mike Daddy. How's it going, Mike Daddy?
What have you been doing and who you been doing it to, baby? What you been doing?
Oof. Been doing a lot of coaching. Glad that's over. Moving into the app. The app is starting to take off. We're very close. Can't wait for that to be done. Should be done, fingers crossed, for the knockout stage. I was talking with the developer on Friday night, and when he gets to a point where he feels like he is close, he's like, man, I can see it. It's almost there. Then I know, because he would say, yeah, I think we'll get it done. But now he's like, man, I can see the end. I know it's close. So that's where I'm directing a lot of attention, especially since school soccer is over. And, we got knocked out in the semis. So,
damn.
Fuck.
Hey,
but it was a good season, man. It was a good season. The boys learned a lot. Learned how to bail out the back and attack down the flanks. So that was very valuable.
if you're getting to the semifinals, it's saying something about your coaching, my friend.
Thanks,
I think your coaching is there.
Yeah.
Nobody's appreciating. I wish we had somebody to appreciate your coaching. Man, I wish we had somebody that I told Drew Brees would just take Tom Brady's ass and just whip him behind the shed. I wish we had somebody that I told that to about a week ago or so. Oh wait, there's some soccer heads. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast, Soccer Heads FC. Boys, how have you guys been?
It's an honor to be here. We've been fantastic.
Yep.
Connor and Blair, glad to have you back on. No one better I would rather have to talk about the January transfer window than the Soccerheads FC. Some of the best soccer content on social media right now. I love y'all's page right now. It's
I would say the best, but that's
fuck yeah. Glad to have y'all back, man.
I can tell there's a lot of things on there that you guys aren't even trying, and it just happens. It's just fantastic, and I love it. Y'all either give me a good laugh or y'all give me some info that I didn't even know, because I can tell y'all are into that EPL. Y'all have your claws deep. You have your finger on the pulse of the EPL.
That's our main thing.
We're more of an Austrian Super League podcast. That's what we're going to start. No, but you guys are right there with us. We've been having good content. I love it as well. We'll parlay this transfer episode and then over to our podcast for a nice Champions League preview. We've been talking about that, so just give the listeners a little tease.
Definitely. And before we get into it, I got to point out one thing. The Soccerheads FC are supporting our nationality, supporting the country. The USA is taking on Trinidad and Tobago. Can y'all give us a score update? I think you said 4-0.
4-0 at halftime.
It's still half.
And it's the domestic. It's the domestic players.
That might not come out to be right, though. It might be like 8-0.
I don't know. I feel like they score 2 more and then they just stop trying.
I think.
Hey, y'all want to go to the World Cup, boys? 2026?
2026? Oh, yeah. 2026, I'll be there. I don't know about going to Qatar.
No. We can't do all that.
Jail.
Let Footy Fetish USA Tour World Cup. You guys should join. We should make it's like a joint thing.
We'll be there.
Are we thinking an RV or
Definitely.
I'm down with it, boys. I have
Podcast
money in a
RV.
jar right now. We're ready to go.
let's go?
Yeah,
I think they're
we've been
releasing the
planning this.
stadiums that are getting like which games, and it's pretty soon. Because I know that's like Gillette near us is like they put in a bid to like host some, so I hope they get some.
Yes.
I'm sure the Superdome did too, right? Had to.
No, definitely not. We don't have
No?
grass.
Damn.
Can't
no
do it.
grass.
No grass.
Oh well, they can bring some grass in. That's usually what happens.
Get that Bermuda grass.
Yeah, that
It's not worth
that
it. It's
Kentucky
not worth the time.
bluegrass. That's what it is.
I think that's what they're trying to do in Atlanta because the Atlanta stadium is the same thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So, well,
Yeah, we're so down. I mean, we'll be huge. We'll have millions of followers by then.
We'll probably be wildly rich.
Yeah,
I would agree.
be able to pull it
A
off.
lot can happen in 5 years.
Yeah, seriously. Absolutely. I mean, it's either RV or a plane. You know, it's one or the other, but it's
Hopefully
going to be
private jet by
documented.
that point.
No, I
What?
feel like the RV would be better for content.
Yeah, no.
I think so, especially because you can do a studio in the RV while you're traveling. You can kind of break down games or watch games as you're making the trip.
you can drive to it.
Or
We're hiring a driver. We're definitely. I'm not driving.
Yeah,
We're
not
hiring. We're hiring a driver.
I feel like the
We're not-
international team's hanging out in their hotel where you just like kind of start DMing like, yo, come out to RV for a quick podcast.
Yeah, dude.
Yes!
What?
We get-
Oh my god, that's a great idea. I love that.
We're to USA it all day, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that we will win.
Hopefully
How
we
about
make
that?
it to the World Cup.
We're gonna do it, baby. We're gonna
Automatic
do it.
qualification, never mind.
No doubt. There's no doubt in my mind.
Wes McKinney is gonna put the team on his back.
I'm saying, man. I was about to say, Wes McKinney, Captain America.
It's happening, baby.
Everyone's going to be hitting their prime at that point. That's going to be winning it at home. It's going to be beautiful.
Yes, I love it. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. So,
Speak it into existence.
y'all heard it here first in 2021, ladies and gentlemen. 2026, we will be at that World Cup. Soccer heads combined with footy fetish, ladies and gentlemen.
The fetish heads.
Fetish heads.
Fetish heads. Love it.
You like a fetish for head? Ooh. Oh, hello. Hubert, what do we talk about today?
Man, let's get into some transfers.
Let's do it.
It's the January 2021 transfer window. Where do we start? I kind of want to start with a kind of like a low-level league just so we can save the bigger ones for later. Let's bring it on out to Germany, the Bundesliga. Not a lot going on in here. We've got Coadio Kone from Ivory Coast going from Toulouse to Mönchengladbach on a 9 mil January transfer to be complete in June. That's going to be a big one. I know that this player is a special player. I've heard his name a lot, but I've never really got to watch him. Mönchengladbach are doing a great job in their scouting department. They've become relevant recently, and you can only credit it to the players that they're bringing in, which also goes in line with their coaching. Because if you have a good program, your coaches are communicating with your scouts and your technical directors and bringing in the pieces that they need to complete their team. So excited about that move. What's next on the list for us, Booty?
I just want to touch on him really quick.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yes,
just because, honestly, there hasn't been a lot of really big moves like we're used to. We're so used to the the $30, $40 million transfers. You're not going to see a lot of these with the pandemic. Our boy that we were just talking about going to Mönchengladbach, it's not going to happen until June. But this is a $9 million transfer. $9 million, or excuse me, I said dollars, euros. 9 million euro transfer. This is a guy that you could see. A lot of the guys with Mönchengladbach, because they are really hot right now, they're probably going to move on. This is a guy that's going to come take their spot. 19 years old, midfielder. He can also do some attack. Going from Toulouse to Mönchengladbach, so he's actually going to learn how to score goals. He's getting out of that other league. So that being said, man, that's all I want to throw out there with him. Secondly, happy Mardi Gras to everybody out there. And thirdly, to our boys in Boston right now that we're talking to, happy Mardi Gras to you guys.
Appreciate it.
It is Mardi Gras season. Secondly, we got to talk about this next one if we're sticking in the Bundesliga. This
Whoa,
next
whoa,
one's
whoa.
really.
We
Go
gotta
ahead.
get
Go ahead.
our points on for Kone.
Yeah,
Oh,
get in
go
there.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So
Drop it like it's
I
hot.
think Blair has some good info, but I'm just gonna say I know nothing about this player at all. But the optics of it, 19-year-old Ivory Coast player,
Looks good, right?
Toulouse to Gladbach. That sounds like a 2 to 3 year, maybe Galacticos Real Madrid player. So
Yes.
that's kind of what the vibe I'm getting from.
Ooh.
Some big faith in him.
Yeah,
off of
some big
nothing.
faith.
All my relevant information is that he was 66 rated in FIFA. Not great, but lots of room to go up. And I have Gladbach making a deep run in the Champs League this season, so
On the back of Theron.
they're my dark horse.
They score
Interesting.
goals, baby. They score
They
goals.
score 'em.
They do.
They
They
were
let 'em
beating
up.
down on teams, beating Real Madrid. I think.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
That
And
covers it for us for that player.
it's a sexy move, and it's somebody that they know they're gonna have to move guys on that are there now. And they're gonna have to have somebody in the wings. This is a guy that he's gonna sit and wait, and they're gonna plug him in.
Yep.
They'll plug him in. They put money forward, so I mean, we'll see. In June, when the transfer is complete, well, we're to see it happen. The other thing I'm going to point out, we're about to talk about a lot of Ivory Coast guys. There has been a lot of movement with guys from the Ivory Coast. I believe there's 2 or 3 on this list. So, should we start to watch Ivory Coast as far as the international, squad?
They made it to the top 4 in AFCON, in the last AFCON nation. It's either top 4 or top 2. I'm pretty sure it was top 4. So they definitely have some players. I'm pretty sure they lost to Algeria in the semis, if I remember correctly. You'd have to check me, but I'm pretty sure Ivory Coast have got some young talent, it looks like, that are on the up and up.
Well, yeah, I mean, because, I'd say 2 World Cups ago, they had Drogba, Yaya Toure, so many quality players. And it kind of seems like countries go through cycles where you have top talent where they don't really use the young players that they have because they have so many good players. We're almost seeing that with the U.S. We had the Clint Dempsey's, Landon Donovan's, didn't really use our young players, got exposed, and now we're bringing the young players back up. Could be the case for the Ivory Coast as well.
By the way,
I think
sorry
Kone
to jump in.
actually,
The Ivory Coast lost in the quarters last AFCON. Go ahead.
Oh, nice.
I think Kone he had eligibility for both Ivory Coast and France to be on their national team. And I think he's trying to play for France. Honestly,
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's been
hot
selected yet,
take.
so I think he could still not make it and then be like, "Oh, I'll play for Ivory
Yeah.
Coast."
Right. Oh, let's go to Ivory Coast.
So he's got those 2 on his plate.
Damn, what a selection! I would definitely take my time making that choice because either team, I mean, obviously France is the better team, but Ivory Coast is not a joke right now. Not a team to be slept on for sure.
I feel like it might be time a nice African team wins one of these World Cups coming up.
That would be nice.
Senegal's always got a nice team right now.
Ghana's
got some good players.
Ghana was there for a minute. Yeah.
Nigeria is another good team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they have the nicest kits.
Yeah.
Oshima.
For sure.
Yeah. They just can't stay away from the red cards.
Man,
They love red cards.
Their coach is always swagged out, from what I remember. The Nigeria coach.
Tracksuits.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of another coach. There was a coach for one of the African nation teams that had these dreads, and he always wear this really sick suit. I forgot what team he coached, but anyway, let's move on ahead. Anyone have anything else to add about Kone?
Nope.
I think that about covered it.
I think so. I mean, it's going to be an exciting move, especially in the French league. You've really only got 1 or 2 teams. Bundesliga, I feel like, is a little bit more of a competitive league, so that'll help him grow as a player. Moving on to the next player on the list, we've got Dominique Szoboszlai, finally making a move. So much noise about him in the summer, potentially going to AC Milan. He is now going to his sister team, RB Leipzig, from RB Salzburg for a cool 20 mil. What a steal. This player is special. Definitely a player to look for in this next fantasy league. RB Leipzig being in the Champions League. I don't know who they're facing. Anybody know that?
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Yeesh.
That'll be a good one. I think Liverpool's heating up at the right time though.
Trash.
Don't be silly.
Hey, but this is what we're all thinking about, right? Going from RB to RB. Isn't that weird?
We'll corrupt.
What do you think the conversations are?
I think
Right.
RB Leipzig says you have to give us this player
Yeah.
for this amount. And
Right.
They just do some tax evasion with the money or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, let's see where we can fit the taxes around. Like, let's move some things
Yeah.
around.
There's definitely some funny business going on in the books, and I guarantee Salzburg are making more than 20 million euros somehow on Salzburg.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
That's a
You know,
guy.
this is not a
It's a guy that plays multiple positions in the midfield, and he's 20 years old.
jeez, hungry too.
Right?
So-
To me, that's a $40 million player.
Yeah.
It's a 40 to 50 just because of the age. We find out later maybe that wasn't worth what we thought, but the fact that these two are in cahoots together, little RB and RB, that's why you get half the price.
He also comes out of that camp of Ralph Rangnick, who is responsible for Mane, Timo Werner, Erling Haaland.
Yep.
He's one of these players that Ralph Rangnick has found at a young age, got him super cheap over to one of his RB teams, let him develop. And this guy, I mean, this is his second year in Champions League, and they continuously fight the bigger teams. We saw them barely lose to Liverpool last year, 4-3, and they're always competing. He's a left-footed player that can hit a free kick as well. So 20 mil again, you know, when you add up all these things about him, he's Hungarian, he's 20, he can hit free kicks, he's a lefty, he's a midfielder.
Right.
I definitely agree with you, Booty, in that 20 mil. There's I think that's pretty cheap for him player.
Yeah, they're not losing any money there.
Yeah, no. Definitely
For
a
sure.
steal.
I'm pretty sure they were asking Milan somewhere in like 25 to 30 for him. And we were like, I don't think we'll pay that. And then sure enough, he goes for 20. Like, no problem. I don't remember seeing any kind of tension about the price. It was just, he's off to Leipzig for 20 mil. I was like, wow, that's how easy it is, huh? Apparently all you needed to have was an RB in front of your name and you get him off for 5 mil discount, you know?
You know, Hungary's been looking for their next star since Puskas, and I
True.
think Salzballs is the one.
Salzball.
Yeah, we call him Sauce.
Yeah, we
Balls
call
a
him
lot on the pod.
Salzballs.
He's a podcast favorite, actually.
Honestly, didn't really do much in this Champions League window. Like, you know, he had some solid play, but we were hoping for some really highlight reels or, you know, the stats to back up, you know, the hype. Didn't see it, but it didn't disappoint.
He had his mind on the future.
It was a last Champions League he really did well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Solid.
He did have he had a free kick and he did have like a long range banger. But you're right as far as Champions League highlights, really nothing that stands out.
Yeah.
Anyway, wish the best for him. Don't know where he's going to fit into that Leipzig system because he's not going to be a plug and play. He's going to have to fight for his position out there. So we might not see him for a couple of years until they start selling off some other players. Because you have Sabitzer, you have Danny Olmo. I'm trying to think of another center attacking mid type of player. Maybe Nkunku.
Yeah, Poulsen's more of like a striker.
Yeah.
Poulsen's more of a 9. But I mean, it's not. He's gonna be sitting the bench and he's gonna be used as a fill-in kind of like past 11 role player. So we might have seen the last of him in Champions League until a couple of years.
Potentially. Be interesting.
We'll see. Got to see what Nagelsmann's going to do with him, though. That's going to be really fun.
I think he'll get some minutes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. He'll get minutes, but he won't be...
Yeah, he won't be first name on the team sheet.
Right. He's not going to be a starting 11 player. He'll just be a bench player getting some minutes. For sure.
Who else went to Bundesliga? There's
Ooh,
somebody else.
we got a big
Hmm.
big name player
Is that a
here.
big name?
Big name. This was a big money move. Um, 2 summers ago. I don't remember the exact year that he left, but
I think it was
this
two.
is we're talking about Luka Jovic, and I looked up the wrong player, Branko Jovic. Give me a second. Luka Jovic going from Real Madrid back to his original team, Eintracht Frankfurt, on loan for 6 months. Initially went from Frankfurt to Real Madrid for $69 million.
I
Now he's going back to Frankfurt on a $1.1 million loan. I think this is a 6 month loan.
I
6 month loan. Really, it makes you wonder if Zidane had any input on this buy, or I'd have to look in the timeline, but I'm pretty sure this was around the time Zidane was being
I
maybe
think
not
I think it was when he was briefly not the
Yeah.
coach. Is when he bought
right.
him, and then Zidane
Yes.
came in and straight up just hated him.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. That's where I was going,
Yep.
and it doesn't align with Zidane's plans, which is why we have not seen him really get substantial minutes here, and have seen him kind of cry to the team like, "Get me out of here! You signed me for 60 mil. You don't play me. What the hell? Get me out of here!"
Yeah.
Lots of chatter about him going to AC Milan in this January window and last summer on loan. Couldn't make it work. I don't know if you guys remember, but when he had his electric season with Eintracht Frankfurt, his partner in crime was Ante Rebic, who AC Milan have recently signed.
Yep.
So AC Milan have been pushing to get Ante Rebic and Luka Jovic back together, especially because they're looking for a deputy for Zlatan right now. So seeing this loan doesn't completely discourage me, because that means he potentially is still out there for grabs for buy. Just depends on really what he does in the German league this upcoming 6 months.
Well, I think like in his first game back, he scored a brace with like Eintracht.
Yeah.
Frankfurt.
Off the bench.
Off the bench.
He's already playing, isn't he?
Yeah. Which
Yeah, so-
I knew he would do good as soon as he came back and was like in the comfortable environment where he's gonna be like the guy he knows he's starting, because like Real Madrid
Yeah.
literally never gave him the minutes, never gave him the chance, like just never got to play enough where he could get comfortable.
Yeah.
You're right. 2 weeks ago, returned with a brace.
But now he's back in his element. I think he'll end up having a great season with him.
I will say though, for the record, that was against Schalke, who is undisputedly the worst team in Bundesliga right now.
Whoa.
Whoa.
They got Matthew Hoppy.
Yeah.
Still, he's good, but is the team
He's the
are they
diamond in
gonna
the
get
rough.
relegated? Pretty sure they're battling relegation right now.
they don't have
No,
West
they're
McKinney
not-
anymore,
they're not.
baby.
No, they're not
Yeah.
battling relegation. They are relegation.
They are relegation.
They're in there. They're 18th place. They are the
Right.
worst team in the Bundesliga right now.
For sure.
Yeah.
Poor guys.
So good for Luka getting a brace against Schalke, but say, bro, do it against another team that's not last place.
And good for Weston McKinney to get out of there.
Get the fuck out of
Oh,
there.
man.
Oh man.
I mean, if we talk about like impactful players with Weston McKinney, they're like mid-table, a little below, and now that he leaves, just utter despair for that club. So yeah, that's he had a huge impact on
He
Schalke.
did. And they were asking him to do a lot. They had him in like a single pivot role, asking him to pick that ball up deep, and really didn't have a lot of assistance, from what I saw, at least, from what I remember watching him at Schalke. Now to see him be at Juve, where he's got other players around him. He's got Rabiot, he's got Artur, Bentancur. He's not the guy picking up the ball, making the tackles, directing the offense. It's really fun to see him just kind of run around and just be a defensive-minded player.
He's actually addressed that. If you actually go look, he's had a couple like press conferences where he actually talks about how Schalke. He said he feels like himself at Juventus because number one, Pirlo sees him as himself, so that's already in itself that's pretty crazy. But secondly, he talks about how I'll try to find this interview He talks about how they try to ask way too much of him at Schalke because they, like you said, I mean, they don't have money to spend. They're not doing well. They haven't been doing well for a while. So it's one of those things that they felt like they could get so much more out of him and just expected him to do so much. And he can tell you that he feels so much at home at Juventus because he doesn't have to worry about that. He doesn't have to worry about basically, in other words, trying to play two positions at once, I guess. Possibly even three.
Or all 11.
Or all of them. Exactly. So at Juve, he said, like, I feel like I'm at home because I just do my job, and that's it. I don't have to play 11 positions. I don't have to put the team on my back. This is where we're at. My manager believes in me. Here's where we're at. You know. So
Because we've seen Pirlo moving around as well, and it's more just he has the confidence that McKinney is just a soccer player at heart. So
exactly, he's like, I can push you wherever I want.
yeah,
Exactly.
he's gonna be successful, and
Exactly.
that's a good testament to his skills and ability. But yeah, I know, especially having the confidence in your own teammates to be able to be competent with the ball and
Exactly.
make simple passes, be in the right spot at the right time. That's super important.
That Juventus defense behind them is a little bit better than that Schalke defense.
Smidge,
A little bit.
smidge better.
I wouldn't say by much though, because they're really
Yeah,
struggling.
They're struggling.
They're struggling. Speaking of Juventus, let's move on into Serie A transfer.
Oh.
How y'all like that segue? Oh.
Mm.
Moving on to Juventus, Pirlo, who's been making some moves in this January transfer window. Booty, why don't you kick us off? Who are some players that Juve has been picking up?
Hey, the reason we're about to say Juventus a lot is because they don't have the money to spend right now. I know it's weird. They're like the Manchester United of that Italian league. Difference being they're not Manchester United. So, they've been struggling with this since the pandemic started. There's been rumors about moving, Ronaldo and whatnot. I'm gonna run through a couple for you that all kind of tie together. First of all, we're gonna talk about Marley. I think it's Ake. Ake. There's the accent on the E. He's French. He's a winger. He's 20 years
Not
old. He's kind of
Nathan
sexy.
Ake?
Yeah, right. He's kind of sexy though. He's coming from Marseille, and immediately Juventus bought him for about €8 million. They put him on the Juve U23 squad, which U23 we should just throw that out there. Not every squad has a U23. Pirlo actually said all squads should have a U23. It kind of makes it a farm system kind of situation because you can kind of stick those guys on that U23 squad that you're not sure about.
Yep.
Like
Give him minutes.
exactly. It's like we need to see like what he can do. I want to see a little more. But anyway, I got to give you these two. We're gonna come back to all this. I'm gonna get you guys comments about it. But Elia Petroli, he's a 19-year-old. He's a forward. He went from Juve to Genoa, $8 million. But keep that in mind. There's also this is all part of a bigger deal here. Manolo Portanova, 20-year-old midfielder, Juventus to Genoa again, $10 million. But see, here's the catch. Nicola Ravella, 19-year-old midfielder from Genoa to Juventus. Those two I mentioned before this, Elia and Manolo, together they cost 18 million. Nicolo, he costs 18 million, so it's kind of like a swap, but it's not. Juve's doing the Juve things. They don't have the money to spend right now, so it's kind of they keep doing this. We saw this with Artur as well and Pjanic with that swap. It was all about a money deal where everything kind of evened out. With these two that I just mentioned, the two that are going to Genoa and Ravella that's coming to Juventus, it kind of works out the kind of it's almost the same way. There's a little bit of money that's left. There's some money that's going to Genoa, but at the end of the day, it's basically a swap.
I gotta say, I really like all these young Italian players being kind of mentioned in the media because I still have that memory burned in my brain of Italy not qualifying for the 2018 World Cup, and it makes you wonder how can a country with so much history and legacy in the World Cup not qualify? It's because you're not paying attention to your youth. But right now, we're seeing all of these incredible youth players. Unfortunately, Zaniolo is the first one that comes to mind. He's got 2 ACL tears, but he'll be back. You have Tonali, you have Barella, you have Sensi, Donnarumma, still like 20,
Chiesa.
21. Chiesa. There's a guy at Fiorentina, Gaetano, and then you have this guy, Borello. I forgot his name already. What's his name?
Rovella?
Rovella, Nico Rovella. Can't forget about Jorginho, Verratti. You also have you dude at Torino, Belotti. Lots of really young players that haven't really kind of hit the scene yet as far as global attraction. So really interesting. I'm gonna definitely look into all three of these Italian players because the fact that they're moving between Genoa and Juventus,
Right.
Juventus, they signed these guys originally because they were good, and then they're willing to do a 2-for-1 trade because they really like this other guy, Nicolo Rovella. So very interesting player swap that I would love to kind of get some eyes on their play styles.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Sick brag. When I was in Italy in 2018, I remember I was taking these soccer classes, and I was talking to this one guy who was deep in the just the culture of the soccer there, and he was like, I couldn't tell you one player that's playing in this international friendly right now.
There's so
And
many
now,
of them.
yeah, now the names that you were mentioning, the young players, Tonali and the likes of those players, they're getting starts for the top 7 teams in Italy, and it's I think it's definitely a good trend for them. I didn't realize that trend that just by this conversation that we're having, when you don't look at your youth talent and you don't have an emphasis on that when you are developing for the national team, it does definitely hurt your team. Even with the likes of Germany, I mean, we saw that where they just said, "Hey, who is it? Ozil. I don't want to get the
Hummels,
players wrong for this, but
Boateng,
Boateng,
Mueller, maybe.
Hummels.
No, maybe not Mueller. Hummels definitely got.
there was no
got-
rhyme or reason for
Yeah, no,
what
they're
they
just
were
like
doing.
you guys retired.
Yeah, so I think this is a good little fact that we picked up on.
Yeah.
The cycle of these teams.
Because Germans be ruthless.
Yeah, they really are. They really are.
Oh,
And
yeah, absolutely.
You also mentioned it in the beginning, saying about we're not going to see any big name transfers in this window. I mean, we might see Dele Alli. We'll get to that at that point, but we might see Dele Alli reunited with Poch in France. But I'm hoping this is the transfer window where we see the players that have kind of been cast aside in their squads get those moves to allow that to happen, to develop their careers instead of just wasting away on the benches, and even value pickups, with teams being a little tight on cash to get those moves going and working out deals. Who really knows? I feel like every league can allow different instances for their trades and transfers and all that, but I hope we'll definitely see a lot of those kind of moves where teams are able to pick up value young players, kind of like we've been mentioning so far.
Uh, you want to talk about value? Not necessarily a young player, but an older player.
True.
Mandzukic
Yep.
to AC Milan
Yep.
on the free.
Hey.
On the free.
No, that was huge.
Huge deal.
Yeah.
So far, I'm not super impressed. He almost had a goal the other day, but I think, like we were talking about with Zlatan right before the podcast, and we'll get into that in a second. Mandzukic is a player where, when we look at his career, he's been to the Champions League, scored a bicycle against Real Madrid in the Champions League final, been to the World Cup final, scored a semi. I think he scored a goal in the semi to help Croatia advance to the final
Against England. Yep.
against England. So I
And
mean,
had a goal in the final.
No, that was against Real Madrid and Juventus.
Oh yeah.
When Mandzukic was playing against Real Madrid had the purple jerseys. I think this was
Oh yeah, yeah. Now
2017.
I remember.
And
Yeah.
Mandzukic hits a fucking bicycle kick to tie the game. And you're like,
That was actually
oh,
one of the most
shit.
insane bikes ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, oh, shit, we got a game on our hands. I mean, so when you look at, he is capable, right? He's been the striker on teams that have made it to the finals. But I think he needs to help. He needs to get his fitness back. I think he needs to get his touch a little bit sharper. It definitely wasn't there. Pioli specifically likes to kind of press high with that number 9. Ibra does a great job just providing pressure. And you could see Mandzukic was kind of a little bit lazy on that pressure, allowing the other team's backline to move the ball. So in the future, hoping to see Mandzukic kind of step up as well as be a leader and share his experiences at these higher level games.
Yeah.
But again, another player like Zlatan. Zlatan is such an important player because of how well he grows the youth talent around him. He might score a couple of goals, he might miss a PK as we were talking about, but in the bigger picture, if you look at how fast he's helping these younger players develop and grow and gain that confidence to be the players that they should be, it is priceless to have players like this on your team, even if they don't produce like they used to. So, very big move for AC Milan. I'm hoping we'll be able to talk about my boys next season in the Champions League. That would be
Yeah.
very exciting. It's been so long. It's been so long since we've seen them in the Champions League. On top of that, AC Milan also signed a player from Torino. His name is Soalio Maiti. And then also they picked up the center back from Chelsea, to can't remember his first name. Tomori.
Yep.
Yep. That's a
Forgot his
that's a big scoop for them.
Huge.
huge move. Got him on the loan. I think option to buy is at 28 mil, which is it's reasonable. And so far, he's been phenomenal. His pace, his intensity, his aggression, fantastic. Unfortunately, his weakness is his ability to pass out the back. And this past Saturday, we saw that with Pioli telling Tonali, stay as close as you can to Tamari. Make sure you're picking the ball up off of his foot so that he doesn't have to rely on his own skills to build out the back. Hopefully, he'll get better at that. But right now, AC Milan making 3 big moves in this January window to maintain their spot in first place for the Scudetto. Booty, how you feeling about that, man? You getting nervous?
I didn't expect us to win Serie A this year, but if we
Okay.
don't, we better win Champions League. How about that?
Damn!
Better
High
win.
expectations for Pirlo.
Exactly.
If you don't, do you fire Pirlo?
Oh no. Pirlo
Okay.
he's an experiment. He's an experiment for sure. Not like
All
the
right.
cigarette smoker that we had before.
So you're saying you don't pull a Chelsea?
No, yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that. Well, the world doesn't do that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The world doesn't Chelsea. Only Chelsea. Only Chelsea's.
I know. I think Tuchel sleeps with one eye open, just waiting for a
Yeah.
brand to just hover over him and say, "No, you're done." You're done.
Oh shit! Oh god! I Chelsea yesterday. Holy shit! I'm fired.
Yeah.
It happens. Chelsea's one of those squads. I have so many friends that are Chelsea fans, but I try to explain this to them as best I can. I'm just so sick of like seeing you guys since like 07. Like just be Chelsea. Everybody knows what I mean, and it's a shit right now. Like, why do you hire Frank Lampard, a former Chelsea guy, to just fire him after it hasn't even been 2 years yet? Come on, give the guy a shot.
Especially go to an FA Cup final. You get knocked out of Champions League to the eventual winners.
Exactly.
Lost an FA Cup final, lost the championship final with Derby.
Chelsea
playing
gonna
Timo
Chelsea.
Werner at left wing. What was Frank Lampard doing?
Didn't he make it to the Europa final as well against Arsenal? Or am I
No,
making
that was
this
the
up?
year before when they had Hazard.
That was Hazard. Okay.
Yeah, Hazard year. And
All right.
Ozil. I remember Ozil was like walking off the pitch when Arsenal was down a goal. I was just like, Ozil, what are you doing?
Probably
Jog off the pitch.
last game he played for.
Probably.
But still, it's like we're gonna fire this guy because of what we used to do in 2011. I mean,
I know.
y'all haven't won in forever. Like, just roll with it. It's bizarre. They're always bizarre, and it just annoys me. And it's always like one of those things that's like, dude, please just get out of the way. Just get out of the way. Like, everybody else is trying to win here, and y'all just fucking bitching. Like,
This sounds like a great segue into the Premier League.
oh,
How about we talk about some Premier League transfers?
I think it does.
I think the funniest, the most important one, not even the most important, but just funniest one we got to talk about is Jesse Lingard.
Is that
getting loaned out to West Ham?
We have so many friends that hate Jesse Lingard. Guys, please hate Jesse Lingard for us. He's going to West Ham for Man United. Which
we will do none of the such.
In a few years, when he gets time to develop and gets to like the prime of his career, he'll be one of the best in the Premier League.
Oh my god, dude! Yes.
I mean, going to
he's so young, right? He's such a young player.
He's young. He's young. You know, he's hot. He's young.
28. For those who don't know, Jesse Lingard is 28 years old, and apparently he's still trying to find his youthful form. That's the story these days. I actually think this is a really good move for him, personally, in his career, because he was not going to see the field at Man U. And West Ham, at least from the cultural perspective that I have, are a very hard-nosed club, and it may get him out of his kind of funk and get his head back in the game, get back to the grassroots, start playing for like a 10,000, 20,000 stadium, as opposed to, your fucking 50, 60, 70,000 stadium. You're going back to a lesser team here. You really got to earn the fans' respect, and they're not going to put up with your shit, man. I think this is a good move for him. We'll see if he can last there, though.
It's the best move for him, for sure. Yeah. I agree with you, because, hey, West Ham, hey, they probably have a starting spot for him, and hey, guess what? It's even more incentive, Hey, we get, don't we want to stick it to your other team? You want to stick it to fucking United, We can stick it to him. He's on a 1-year loan, so they're gonna have to see him for a year. Don't you want to fucking beat that team that fucking sent you here?
Let's not forget he is an English international player. He's got caps on the English national team, and you don't do that by accident.
Semifinals.
That's what I'm saying. You don't do that by accident. You got to have some kind of quality about you to be picked and play and contribute to the team. We'll see if he can get his form back. I don't know what to expect here. I really have no idea.
You can never really trust the rumors and all that, but we've kind of heard behind the scenes, he's kind of going through a rough patch with his life. First of all,
really,
he lost his girlfriend to Jason Derulo, so that is just terrible.
Hate to see.
Second of all, I guess his mom has been sick and stuff like that, so that's tough on having to deal with that. But I mean, West Ham, they're lucky. Liverpool's lucky he wasn't able to play against them today.
Yeah, they're hot.
I mean, you're going from the second place team in the Premier League to the 5th place team in the Premier League. That's not a bad move, if you ask me. A little more play time.
I got a buddy of mine he's a big West Ham fan, if you can believe that. They exist.
I can believe it.
They exist, first of all. This friend of mine, he'll always just text me. He'll just be like, getting hammered. Yes. Hammers, baby. Yeah,
let's go. In the bubble.
So, crazy. He'll text me time to time. He'll just be like, tiny bubbles. And like, I'll be like half in and out of shots, Yeah. I'll just be like, tiny bubble, what the fuck? Oh yeah, you and your fucking hammers. But I'll tell you what, this is a guy that they could just kind of squeeze him in.
They sure can.
And what if he finds his form, right? If he finds his form, then this is a really weird situation, because all of a sudden, I mean, West Ham's already right there in the top 4. They're fighting for that top 4. What if you could find this guy? If he could
Yeah.
find himself, hey, you know what? You buy him on the cheap on this loan at the end of the loan.
Could be nice. I don't really see him ever getting back into the Man United
No,
starting 11.
Never.
no,
So
he
yeah,
won't.
hopefully this would be a good team to go to
Yep, yep.
because
He knows the league.
English players are scared of leaving the Premier League. They're just
Right.
like scary outside
They
my
do
home.
not like doing that.
So there's no chance he can go anywhere else.
Absolutely.
That weather's too nice for him.
It is pretty crazy how England, they had Dele Alli and Lingard in their midfield, and now they're just trash.
Yeah.
In the last World Cup.
It's what they do, baby. It's what they do.
Yeah,
It's up to us to figure out their trash. We need to sort their trash out.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
those two are about as good as Lampard and Gerrard were.
Never.
Who are
No.
those guys?
Maybe Jordan Henderson, you could argue, is like on that level, but
Not even.
not really.
Not
Not even.
really.
Not
It could
Not
be
really.
exciting to see James Madison and Grealish in that midfield in the next
See,
World Cup.
that's a real midfield.
It's a real midfield.
That sure could be.
Grealish.
Speaking of midfielders, y'all heard about the homeboy that just went from Arsenal? Excuse me, from Real Madrid to Arsenal. He's 22 years old. You know who he is? Mr. Martin Odegaard.
I think
Oh,
that is my favorite transfer of this entire window.
tell us
because
about it, baby. Tell us about it, baby.
I just think it's a perfect fit. He's going to be the next Ozil, but better.
Oh,
Cry when he plays.
hot take. Okay.
And he was not playing at Real Madrid, and they signed him when he was like 7 years old, even though I think he was like 16. But I'm glad to see him in the Prem. I like seeing the good players in the Prem.
So he actually had a whole bunch of success for, I want to say, Real Sociedad,
Yep.
Yeah, he was getting tons of assists with them.
getting tons of minutes out there and was really finding his form. And then I believe Real Madrid called him back. I think he got loaned, and then they loaned him out again, and then Arsenal were like, all right, let's make a move for him. But I totally agree. He was never going to find a spot on the field at Real Madrid. This is just, I think, a player that Real Madrid knew that they could drop some money into, hold on to him, loan him out, and then flip him for twice the price and cash in on this player. If, for instance, if on the case that he did really excel and really start to impress, it's like, okay, let's keep him. But I think Real Madrid knew that this was a player they were going to be able to sell for twice the price that they got him for. I'm looking at the cost. Real Madrid got him from, let's see, the Vitesse, I believe. And it looks like, and it looks like Jesus. It was a $4.4 million move. They got him on a loan, and then end of the loan, he's Real Madrid's. They loaned him out for $2 million, and then made $44 million off of him. So they're sitting pretty right now with that transfer. That is a phenomenal transfer for Real Madrid. And I also agree with you, Connor, in that Arsenal, I think, have really got a solid player. Now, whether or not he can hang in the EPL for consistency, I don't know. The EPL is such a rough league for midfielders because you have a target on your back when you have the ball. There's not a lot of go for the ball only. It's go for the ball and knock down the player, or go for the ball and take out the player. Basically, remove him from the play as you're building. And I think that really affects a player's life or his length of games in the EPL. So I'm not sure he has quite the build for the EPL right now. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I think they subbed him on for like the last 5 minutes of the Manchester United Arsenal game because
Did
at
they?
halftime they had to sub on Willian just because that was going to be the change that got them the goals. One of these days he'll get his first goal for Arsenal. Just keep playing him, Arsenal. Keep doing that. Rather than the young talent you just signed that's like 1,000 times better. But he looks clean on the ball. He felt a little bit like he had a little more control over it than the other players. Not much to compare to, but he looked good out there. But yeah, the physicality kid has taken a lot of people by surprise when they go to the Prem. So got to see how he does with that.
Timo Werner is a great
Yeah,
example.
definitely.
He said, I knew that the EPL was going to be a hard league before I got here, but it has definitely exceeded my expectations. And I'm definitely, you can tell, not only did he say he was struggling, but you can see it in the amount of goals. He started off pretty well, started getting a couple of goals, and then I can't tell you the last time I've seen him score. I haven't been paying a lot of attention to the EPL, but do you guys remember his last goal?
No,
When it might
He
have been?
hasn't scored in a long time.
but
Yeah, so
he also had that quote after he played Brighton. And it's
No,
like, bro, if you're saying that after Brighton,
Was it
then,
Brighton?
Yeah, it was Brighton. Whole valve.
hey man, teams like that got nothing to lose. They're just out there to knock you on your ass.
Yeah, so true.
They have nothing to lose. They're fighting for their lives. Meanwhile, you're Chelsea. Your owner's Abramovich. He can fucking spend 100 mil and buy Werner, Ziyech, Pulisic. He can go and buy all those players in one window and then go. Like West Brom doesn't have to worry about that. I mean, Chelsea doesn't have to worry about that. West Brom, they might not be in the Prem next year.
Yeah.
They're out there to knock somebody's skull out. So,
yeah, right. My last thing about Odegaard, and we've now seen the same situation with Luka Jovic, is the fact that, players' dream moves are to go to Real Madrid, go to Barcelona in most cases. And it's really interesting to see when they're not having success, they're under a microscope when you go to these clubs, and when you're not having success, it's that battle where do I stay to try to prove myself, or do I, take my talents elsewhere to another top club that, will give me the minutes. And with those two players, we noticed that they weren't getting the chances to prove themselves. Hazard's
right.
getting that chance, and he's proving that he's been terrible so far. So it's kind of interesting to see how long he'll last there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just going, if you're most soccer players, when they make it to the biggest stage, their egos are huge. And hopefully, I think with these two players, stay away from Real Madrid. You don't need Real Madrid to have that success. You can find success other places. I think that's kind of what it comes down to.
I would agree. And when you're a player like Martin Odegaard and you go to a team like Arsenal and help them get to heights that they have not seen recently, it says a lot about you as a player rather than going to a team like Real Madrid who continuously either win the league or in the top 4 position. It really doesn't give any credibility to you as a player. But when you go to a team, for instance, like AC Milan, and you're a Zlatan, and you're able to put in goals and bring them to the first place in Serie A, it says way more about you as a player than, for instance, I hate to pick on my man, you're Ronaldo, you go to a team like Juventus who have been winning the league, and you win the league again. It's like, well, did you really contribute? I mean, I can honestly say that he did. Without Ronaldo last year, they're not winning the league. But we're seeing it this year. Ronaldo, this is a time where you need to step up as a player and prove that you are that guy. And Odegaard could be a player. He might not be the goal scorer, but he could be a pivotal piece for Arsenal in the future, which will give him way more respect over his playing career. If he's able to take a club like Arsenal and bring them back into, their previous legacy that they had. So, I mean, I agree with you right there. That was spot on. I just had to kind of mold it myself.
Certainly.
Hey, he's spot on, baby. When Hugh gets spot on, everybody get the fuck out of the way.
UTFO.
I just get on a roll. Kind of blacked out there.
Yeah, oh yeah. I can see it in his eyes. I was like, oh, he done did it. He done did it.
You flipped the switch, man. You flipped it. No, but let's bring it back to the Premier League here.
Yeah, let's talk about Diallo. Let's talk about Diallo. Ooh,
where is he from?
Well, first of all, we got to talk about. Actually, let's bring it back for a second. We got to talk Atalanta because Atalanta has been making moves as far as shipping people out.
No one cares.
And Juve and AC guy here. We don't care. But Ivory Coast motherfucker Diallo. He's 18 years old. He plays a wing. You could throw him in that center forward. I've seen that happen with him before. But to be honest with you, he's only played a few games at Atlanta, and Man U was in. They were so in that they paid 21 million euros for this guy. So it's another guy though with United where I'm like, you paid a bunch of money, but are you gonna play him?
When you know, I guess.
I mean,
and Man United.
how's Van de Beek
situation.
doing over there?
Exactly. Van de Beek is exactly where I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, are we gonna see this guy? Are we really gonna see where? Because I mean, 18 years old.
You gotta be playing.
Right. Like you should be playing if we're paying 21 million for you. You should be playing. But we'll see. We'll see. If you want to talk about a guy who actually went for higher than that, 23.1 million euros from Brentford to West Ham. Speaking of our friends at West Ham, throwing the hammer down, the hammers. Saeed. Ben. We're gonna go for this.
Ben Rama.
Benrahma.
Ben
From
Rama.
Algeria. He's 25. Is that a little too much? Like we can already see right there. West Ham got the money, right? West Ham's been making moves out, so they immediately just dropped money on this. 23.1 million. For a guy who's
The
25.
same position as Jesse Lingard.
Exactly.
Why would you do this?
Exactly. Oof. Saeed, is he going to be the answer?
Gonna be the next Riyad Mahrez
You would think so, right? With
that kind of money.
with the check they wrote for this guy.
Jeez. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's a permanent move. So they have this guy for the future, whereas Lingard is a loan, so you never know. They must like what they have seen out of this guy. He came from, where did he come from, you said?
From Brentford to West Ham.
Okay, so he's got some EPL experience. Algeria, like we were saying with Ivory Coast, Algeria is another team that they're a really good team. They went all the way to the AFCON championship and they won 1-0. Did he score the goal? That'd be pretty cool. No, Buneja scored the goal. But I mean, if I'm West Ham, I'm liking my move there. Not so much for Jesse Lingard, but this guy. I mean,
right.
I'm liking that move.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What are you guys thinking about that?
I haven't seen too much about it. I wasn't watching too many Brentford games.
Really?
Why not?
He actually started today against Liverpool, and I honestly didn't notice him at all. So West Ham didn't play a great game today against Liverpool, but one game against defending champs.
Right?
Can't really.
First game for a new team, a little nervous. Gotta get used to everything. I think we need a little bit more time to see how he does.
But yeah, don't know too much about him.
Let me ask you guys this: what do you guys still? Personally, this is the biggest move for me out of this transfer window. There's not going to be a lot of big names. I feel like, as we were saying earlier, a lot of teams don't have a lot of money to spend. I think, personally, this is the biggest move. Papu Gomez from Atalanta to Sevilla. Sevilla only got better. What are your thoughts? Whoever wants to take it first. For 5.5 million. That's a steal. He's 32 years old, but it's Papu Gomez.
Yeah, I saw like some stat that was like chances created in like the top 5 leagues in the last like 5 years. It was like Messi, I think someone else, and then like Papu Gomez.
Yeah.
Like, so he's a playmaker. He creates chances. He can shoot the ball like, real well. I think it's a good move for Sevilla. I think he only left Atalanta because like him and the coach like hated each other, or like which you don't know if like maybe he had bad attitude problems or maybe it was just those two didn't gel at all. So that's
exactly
kind of like the only thing that I could see like stopping him from excelling at Sevilla. But I think that's Sevilla, like great steal for them, great transfer, like might be just what they need because they've been having a bad domestic season so far.
And he is eligible to play in Champions League as well.
That's the biggest
right.
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
They're going to be going up against Dortmund, And this move right here makes me solidify my pick that Sevilla is going to beat Dortmund.
I'm gonna go Sevilla as well. I'm gonna go Sevilla as well.
Dortmund just
I don't
can't
know if
figure
y'all.
it out right now.
I don't bet against Holland in the Champions League. Sorry, boys.
Oh,
Man, I'll tell you what, PSG figured it out real fast.
Oh,
Locked him up
yeah.
real quick.
They just had to sprinkle in a little Neymar, a little Mbappe.
right.
I don't know.
I don't know,
I
man.
don't know if Sevilla's got
When
the Neymar and Mbappe.
They got Papu.
Well,
That's true. He's them both.
I don't know if y'all recently saw, Sevilla just had an amazing clip where they moved the ball from their goalkeeper all the way down the field in just one play. It was absolutely gorgeous. I don't know where it started, but it wound up going from left side to right side. They did a little triangular pattern of passes, got it back through the middle, went to the left wing. He drives down the far side, swings in a ball, and I mean, it was just this absolutely gorgeous movement of the ball by Lopetegui. He's been doing wonders over there.
Yeah,
Spain definitely
fantastic.
missed out by letting him go in the World Cup. I mean, he's already got a Europa League championship, and the name Monchi. Monchi has been just doing wonders over there at Sevilla with the amount of players that he's been pulling in at the price they're doing it. Booty, totally agree. 5-5 for Papu.
Well,
Everything ran through Papu Gomez at Atalanta. Everything.
let me throw this at you. Carlos Fernandez, midfielder at Sevilla, sold him to Real Sociedad for $10 million.
Damn.
So, if you wonder how they funded the whole Papu Gomez thing, it was only about half of what they sold Carlos Fernandez for. So Sevilla they're making moves. They're making moves to accidentally win Champions League.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
a good
win
move.
now type of move.
Exactly.
Bringing in Papu Gomez, it's
For sure.
nothing for the future or anything like
No.
that. That's with Dortmund Champions League in mind, and we know them when they get into those knockout stage competitions.
When
Dangerous.
they get into the Europa League, I'd be scared blind because that is where they can.
Yes, they win exactly, and that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like maybe they're trying to just model this after what they already know. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to model this Champions League run like a Europa run.
Yeah, maybe they just change all the locker room signs to say Europa League, and then they're like, "Oh, well, now that we're playing Europa League,
I'd put money
Oh,
on
it's Champions League. Oh fuck. Oh, and then all of a sudden
yeah,
dangerous team. Dangerous team.
I'm inclined to agree here. I think Sevilla have a chance. Although, I mean, Gio Reyna and fucking Erling Haaland together. They're like the Bash brothers, bro. They look great.
Jaden Sancho's is coming back into form now.
Let's not forget, they just got a brand new coach. No more Favre for Dortmund, man. That's huge. That is motherfucking huge. He has fucked up so much for that team.
He's holding back.
Sorry to jump in on you, Connor. I totally got excited there.
No, I mean a lot of players like regressed under that coach. Like I think like Jaden Sancho, perfect example, like was unreal, and then like just wasn't good like the last year because of him, but now he's starting to do good again.
Spot on. Yeah. Let me look up the coach real quick.
they
What's
should have
his
brought
name?
Tuchel back.
Yeah.
They'll probably have a chance in like 1 to 3
Yes.
months.
Well, hey, Tuchel's gonna be good for Pulisic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's true.
So he's gonna take Pulisic off of that winger role. He's gonna put him more of like a midfielder role, and that's
Really?
I think so because that's kind of what he is. I mean, when he plays, just throwing it out there. When he actually plays in a game, when he's actually healthy enough to play in a game, he's not gonna want to put him at that winger.
Yeah, but Pulisic plays his best when he's on the wing.
I mean, he does when he actually plays.
When he can just take the ball and just sprint at the nearest defender,
Yeah.
like that's
Right.
when he's excelling.
Well, hold on, Booty. Is the argument whether or not he plays or what position does he play?
Oh, dude, I would put a bet. I would put money right now that I don't have on him scoring more goals than games he plays in for US.
Wow.
How about that?
That's a bet. That's a bet.
It's a bet.
All right.
It's a bet.
That's a hot take. More like it.
It's
That's
it's a
just a
hot
really,
take. It's a hot take
really
because
hot take.
because I'm be honest, I think he's one of the greatest talents that we've ever had. But if you're not playing, it doesn't help anybody. And it's not your fault that you're hurt, but it's not US's fault that you're always hurt either. So we got to move on. I don't see him being healthy enough. It's just not there. If you're not healthy enough at 20 years old, you're not gonna be healthy enough at 30. So
Fair enough. Okay.
I'm gonna take McKinney all day over him.
Oh, McKinney is captain of USA without a doubt.
Yeah.
That's not even a question.
Yeah. So
That's not even a question. What other moves do we got going on? I think we're still in La Liga.
oh my
right?
goodness, oh my goodness, we need some Musa Dembele.
Ooh, Musa.
Oh, Musa going from Lyon to Atletico Madrid. How about that?
Love
Atletico
it.
Madrid, look, they finally filled that little spot, that Murata spot they left open.
Yeah,
Look
and
at
they
that.
got Diego Costa's contract too, so they needed another forward to get in there.
That is correct, my friend.
Oh,
No, I
shit,
don't
they
know
got
if they
Suarez
needed-
over there right now.
Yeah, I don't know if they needed another forward. Atletico are in. You always want to be in the position that Atletico are, where you're top of the table, firing on all cylinders, and you just are looking for those little pieces to help you really get over the top. Which in this case is Champions League for them,
Yeah, but-
or La Liga. I guess the argument could be made. I don't know which they'd put emphasis on.
I think they're putting it on the Liga.
Could be.
They're doing so
Yep.
good in the Liga, they might not even need to put emphasis on it anymore.
They're up 10 points, and they have a game in hand over
Yeah.
Barcelona and Real and Sevilla. That's impressive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Real
That's
Madrid
fucking
lost
impressive.
this weekend. Terrible.
That is fucking impressive. Real Madrid lost this weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just
So-
them getting Suarez is kind of was like that missing key they needed, like to just complete their team. He fits in their play style so well.
Yep.
They needed that
Definitely.
finisher. They needed just a finisher. Nothing sexy. Just somebody who could score some fucking goals.
Yep. If only Barcelona could have gotten him, maybe they would be doing better. Missed out on that race.
It happens sometimes. Sometimes guys go outside of these top five, right? We talk about the top five. Sometimes guys go outside of it. Sebastian Haller, another Ivory Coast guy, going to West Ham, to Ajax for $22.5 million. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a guy. I got a West Ham guy. He's in my back pocket. If y'all ever want to talk to a West Ham guy, but the only thing is he's a New Orleans native, and that's literally all he knows is West Ham. That's it. He's like, West Ham, I got you. He's like, yeah, Holler left, and I was like, I don't know who the fuck that is. I was like, oh, okay.
You should have known
That's
who
a big
Alak
boy.
was. Or is he
I was
fake?
gonna say, after I saw a couple of highlights, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. But
I saw him blow one-on-ones with the keepers on 3 different occasions.
Oh!
Is absolutely falling over himself when it's just him and the goalie
But
through and goal.
But if you need a bicycle kick,
But then scored a nasty, one of the best bicycle kicks I've seen. So much power.
dude, he did have that bicycle kick.
That was a great one.
He sent me gifs all day. I was just like, oh, what is this? I'm like, looking at my phone. Oh, shit! Somebody at West Ham can bicycle? Holy shit! West Ham, baby. Hammer.
Damn.
Another
And
Ivory
David
Coast
Moyes
guy
out
that
there.
plays he's trying to play for France too.
Who's that?
Hilaire, he's trying to play for France.
No shit. Does he have that dual nationality?
Yeah,
Ivory
he's
Coast
got
France?
both of them. I think he was born Ivory Coast, but has the thing. For
Fucking
France.
right. Fucking right.
And he's
Right.
26.
so this is
So he-
changing the topic a little bit, going back to Atletico and
Do it.
Suarez.
Do it. Go ahead.
So there could be a slight reason why, Barcelona wasn't able to pay for the talents and the likes of Suarez. It could be the slight chance that they are paying Lionel Messi over 100 million fucking euros a year. And that was the most insane thing that I've ever seen in my life. My respect or my sympathy for Messi just went out the window. All the candidates for Barcelona have just been saying, hey, we're going to have to get rid of Messi. We can't keep up with his contract. I'm like, That's unfortunate. I'm sure he's making a lot of money, but he's worth it. At over 100 million euros, there is no soccer player that's worth it on the pitch.
Bro, they probably sell
No.
70 million euros of Messi jerseys a year. Like,
But they're still at a deficit.
I'm not gonna watch Barcelona if Messi like isn't there. Like, that's just like he's worth that money.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's.
What do
was
you
he
guys
worth
think?
it when you lost 8-2? Was he worth it then?
Was he worth it then?
Yeah, I mean, he created 2 goals against Bayern Munich. He should have
No,
had.
he
a
didn't.
third.
That was an own goal. One of those was an own goal. Don't you give credit to Messi
He
on
created the own goal though. It was like off his foot, I believe.
that? Shit.
And he
Not
should
worth
have
it.
he should have had a goal that game, but he created a great chance for himself. And I don't think he can't play defense for the team. Like, they could have, if they had only let up 2 goals, it would have been a tie game.
All right, that's a bold strategy, Cotton, but I'm not buying it. I hear your point in that he may be worth it in a big scheme, but at some point you've got to take the Tom Brady route and take a pay cut so that your team can buy other players and build around you. His big complaint was there's no one else around me. It's like, okay, well, when you hog 100 mil of the cap, how do you expect a club to build around you? That's not gonna. You can't do that.
Well,
That's
it's
selfish.
They wasted so much money. They paid Dembele, who was like a spoiled kid who had to like force his way out of Dortmund and like plays video games too late, so he shows up late to practice. They made him the second most expensive player of all time. They made like Griezmann the third most expensive player of all time. They made Coutinho like the fourth most expensive player of all time. And all 3 of them like are sitting on the bench like last season.
Chilling.
300 mil. I agree. It's a 300 mil 3-player swing. Definitely not helping him, but I wouldn't. The management bought the wrong players to begin with. You could have. I agree. You could have spent the players to. You could have spent the money to buy better players. But again, imagine having made those mistakes. Okay, you made those mistakes. Understandable. But then at the end of the day, all 3 of those seasons, you still have to pay Messi 100 mil. Are you not going, man, this is really not adding up? Maybe we should take some money from Messi and try and buy another 100 mil player. Maybe we'll hit it home on the 4th one. I mean, I hear you. Dembele, 100 mil. Coutinho, 100 mil. Griezmann, 120 mil. I get that. But they're all still good players. It's not like they just lost their ability because they're worth that much money and they're on Barcelona. Messi, at the end of the day, still is way overpaid. It's way overpaid. I don't know. That's my point. I don't think we'll agree there.
If I can get the greatest player that's ever played the sport, I think I pay him whatever he wants.
What if you'll never win a Champions League while you have him under that contract?
I think like some proper buys, like they won within the last 5-6 years now, I guess.
That's why I said 5.
But
We-
I mean,
We can't buy if he's taking up all the money.
Yeah.
7 La Ligas in 9 years, like that's not bad.
It's not great.
Fair enough.
It's
Fair
pretty
enough.
great.
Yeah,
Fair
I think my just biggest thing is I felt so bad for Messi and just being in a terrible situation.
Right.
But
Yeah.
now the fact that came out, and you were saying before,
I mean, if they didn't want to pay him this much, they refused to let him leave. Like teams,
Yeah, they
wanted
did.
him.
yeah, that's
They
so
did.
true. It is
So like,
It-
it's not like that. He's like forcing them to pay. Like he's like, please
Yeah.
let me go.
Yeah, he's,
Like,
he's
you
not
have
holding a
to
gun
pay
to
me.
their head at all.
yeah.
He was like begging
Yeah.
to leave.
None of this makes any sense whatsoever.
No, it really doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense.
It's like they should get some guy in there that's taken like 1 business class whatsoever.
I didn't see like they're $1 billion in debt.
like,
Like it says.
watch 1 business TED talk. That's all you got to do.
Bring a
That's
fucking
it.
calculator.
Yeah,
Jesus.
calculator. Like it's not adding up.
You don't even need to use the zeros. You can just do 500. You don't even need to add the 9 zeros on the back of it. You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense because billionaires are involved. So I mean,
Yeah, right.
Jesus.
it won't ever make sense.
I
Hey,
appreciate you bringing this up, by the way. This
yeah.
is-
Oh no,
we need
yeah,
to
it's
talk-
great.
We needed to talk about this.
Billionaires only get upset when it's GameStop, is what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. They don't like getting burned by their own fucking sword. You know,
They do not.
they do not.
They do that.
There's a guy named Ocho. I don't know if you guys heard of him,
Whoa.
but he went from Arsenal. He finally got out of Arsenal. which actually I gotta say, I'm very happy for this man to get out of Arsenal and to do his thing. He's I know it's not the best club in the world, but I think it's this situation where he's 32 years old. He's just gotta venture out. We all know him from that World Cup, you know.
Yeah.
But to go to Fenerbahce for 5.5 mil, I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that, right? Wouldn't you guys?
He also, he's
Arsenal
also
has been
Turkish.
paying him to do nothing for like 3
Yeah.
years
Right,
now.
right. They've been paying him just to sit on the bench and just
Their
waste
highest
time.
paid player is him, and like he did nothing for them.
Right, like all based on the 2010 World Cup. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole
And
contract was based on that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say he's Turkish, so he's going to the Turkish league. He speaks the language. He's always gotten criticism for being Turkish on the German team, so I think this could be good for him. You know, he gets back to his roots a little bit, gets to speak some
It's
Turkish.
great. Yeah.
Got some
Also
criticism
help
for
grow the
posing with their
Turkish game.
dictator and like taking some nice photos
Yeah.
after he just like murdered some journalists.
Hey, as long as you,
Didn't know that.
Hey, we don't get political when we
Yeah,
do
no,
guest
he
appearances.
did-
None of that.
Hey man, we needed to know that. That's important. Though. I'm not gonna.
He went with the
dispute
old, oh, it's my president. Am I gonna say no to a photo? Like, which I guess that's true.
right.
that. Yo, Mo Salah got in trouble with doing the same shit. He was just taking photos with somebody, and apparently he got into a photo with like some terrorist or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I didn't even know who the dude was. I'm just taking photos with fans. Get off my back."
I was gonna say, of course, the media was like, "Oh, he's a
Yeah.
terrorist. Oh, they're
Yeah.
terrorists."
Yeah. Calm the fuck down.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ! Outside of Europe, I can tell you what, Hugh, I got two for you.
Yeah.
Hugh loves his Brazilians. He loves to go balls deep in these Brazilians. Number one, Pedro going from Fiorentina to Flamengo for 14 mil. That's pretty cool. But you know what's cooler?
Whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hulk, 34 years old. He still exists
Wow.
outside of the DC universe. He still fucking exists. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, this was a free transfer to a Brazilian club. Hugh, help me out. Atletico Mineiro?
Mineiro.
Mineiro. There you go.
Mineiro. That's it.
Mineiro.
Atletico Mineiro. That's it.
Mineiro. I'm just glad to see Hulk still playing.
Yeah, I thought he was like playing over in like China, but
He was. Okay, so I'm glad you asked that. So he was making like 100 million a game or some. Yeah, it was stupid. It was very stupid. Like it was Chinese on crack. It was
Good for him.
yes, yeah, exactly. Good for him. Shit, if somebody could pay me 100 million just to fucking play, are you kidding me? Let's fucking do it, baby. Let's fucking do it.
Once Hulk left his wife to marry like his
I forgot.
Yes,
wife's niece, I was all set on the Hulk train.
yes,
maybe the most savage move I've ever seen.
yes,
But
dude.
he had kids with his like their, and then he's like, "Yo, your niece though, my new wife."
Dope.
Fucked your niece. You know,
Kinda
like
though,
our goddaughter.
when you start doing that, bro.
Like what a slut, huh?
Yeah.
What a fucking slut. What a slut. Hey, look, before we close this thing out, we gotta talk some fucking we gotta talk about some coaches. Guys, what do you think? I know y'all love that EPL life, and you love guys that have been in the EPL.
Best.
Pochettino for Tuchel. What do you think? Pochettino, ladies and gentlemen, now at PSG. Tuchel basically fired for Pochettino. Now he is at Chelsea. This is just a weird move. What are you guys thinking?
All that stress is off Pochettino's shoulders. He's won a trophy now. Took him 2 games, and
right.
he is now a trophy awarded coach, the most prestigious cup in some say the world, the French Coupe de la Ligue or whatever it was. There might be another one that it was.
Poofs.
So yeah, and then Tuchel leaving. I mean, like he got him the Champions League final, which like I feel like they've never been to before. So probably shouldn't have left. Maybe I don't know.
Well, I mean, PSG did just lose today to Lorient.
I was about to say that.
So that, I mean, typically we don't talk about Farmers League on our podcast.
Yeah, we
but
actually exclusively don't talk about it.
We're trying to say American, okay?
Yeah. But it is crazy that PSG's in third place right now.
It really is.
That's tough. Another thing that I wanted to add that Ocho mentioned in the beginning is the USA men's national team game that just happened before we close out. A name to watch is Jesus Ferreira. He had 2 goals and 3 assists. 20-year-old player for Dallas, FC Dallas.
Ooh.
Also, a player that scored, Miles Robinson. He's from a couple towns over from us. Don't
Oh,
play
cool.
him.
We've chirped him before in real life. So
Yeah. So he can handle the best of the chirps.
Yeah.
So that is respect.
we have yelled at that man.
He played
Oh,
basketball against our town.
Yep.
He was too good. We didn't play them in soccer because they were just way too good.
Yes,
But he was a good basketball player.
he was all around athlete. So.
Word on the street is he only has analog clocks in his home. I don't know. What that
I
chirp is.
haven't heard that. Was that
Any reason why?
I think
that was
that was one of the
happening?
chirps.
Hey, probably he's watching you guys. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
gotta
he's
be it.
watching us here, and we're watching him, play for the U.S. men's national team.
He's
Who
watching.
won that one?
We're the winners of this
Yeah.
situation.
We're on the Footy Fetish show.
Whereas he had to play a game today.
Yeah.
He had to run around.
Yeah,
Poor bastard.
terrible.
Couldn't be me.
Hey, I want to give you guys another coach that got dropped. Brett Lucien Favre. He got dropped. Honestly, he got dropped from Dortmund for a guy who was already on the staff, Terzic. But there are rumors of Dortmund. This is from Pum Daddy, straight from Pum Daddy. There are rumors of BVB going after Gladbach's coach when his contract's up at the end of the year. So it's interesting to see if that's going to happen. I'm just throwing it out there. But anything's better than Favre. I mean, Ocho be better than Favre. I'll let him take over Dortmund any day. So
Put me in, coach.
I feel like a lot
Ready
of
to
times
play.
when it's like an assistant that like comes in and becomes the main coach, like they do well. Like Hansi
Yes.
Flick for Bayern. Like,
yes, and there's
I-
already rumors of Flick leaving. I'm going to throw this out there. There's rumors of Flick leaving Bayern after this year. And I know that sounds weird, right? Like, why would you leave? There's a chance that he could coach the national team, which he already wants to. Secondly, they're bringing in. So Bayern is bringing in Oliver Kahn, who apparently was already on the board, and he is not on board with Flick. So that's something that we should keep an eye on.
what does he have against him?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's being German. I mean,
Coach him to a
you know how
treble,
Germans are.
like-
Germans just get mad at nothing. So I mean, it's,
Yeah.
Like I'm starting to think Flick was the mastermind behind the 2014 World Cup win for them because he was the
Yep.
coach for
Exactly.
A
that.
lot of people say that.
exactly.
Joachim Low is just too busy picking his boogers and butt cheeks.
And fucking like fucking rubbing his nutsack,
Tactics and
scraping his
instructions.
nutsack, like smelling it and
Oh,
shit.
The ball sniffer.
I mean,
Butt scratch.
I mean, I smell my butthole, but not my ball sack. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's just weird.
You know you're on camera.
Yeah,
Uh,
smell
yeah.
what I expects. You know?
Yeah.
Well, now that Frank Lampard is not with Chelsea, I mean,
Yeah, he's out there.
I mean, Dortmund. I wouldn't be surprised if he went to Dortmund. He's really good with developing the young players.
Right?
He brought Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham to Chelsea.
That's a nice hot take. I like that.
Yeah, they did well.
I feel like he can only speak English right now.
Yeah, I was about to say, Lampard speaking German.
I don't see it.
Why is he speaking bad German?
Also,
Something like
Lampard,
that.
ever since that England-Germany game where they didn't count his goal, he probably hates Germany.
Oh yeah.
Why is he gonna get my go?
Does Dortmund have any German players in their lineup?
Shit.
They got an English one.
Hummels, I can think of.
Brandt's German. Brandt's German. How How about Royce when he decides to play?
No,
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
He
count.
kicked Royce
He-
right out onto the
Yeah, I
screen.
mean, our pun daddy, as we call him. He always says that Pulisic is the American Royce.
I
It's
don't
like,
like the sound. I hope not.
yeah, I know exactly, but I see where he's going with it because it's
I
like
can see, yeah.
it's like, oh man, a guy that I know he can be better, but he's just never healthy enough to do it.
I need Pulisic to like just be injury free for just a good 2 years, and then
Right.
he can get another one after that. Just give
That's
me
all
2
we're
years.
asking. That's all we're asking. Just give me a year. Just give me a year. Damn. I'll tell you what, guys. If you had to give a shout out right now, we have to close it out. We want to keep talking. We have to close it out. Is that your shout out today, Pulisic? Who's your shout out? We have to close it on a shout out. It could be anybody around the world.
I'm gonna keep mine transfer related. So last transfer window, probably the biggest steal of the window, Gareth Bale to Tottenham. He's just been absolutely killing it at Tottenham.
I like that.
Is that true?
He put the golf club down.
No, he
Yeah.
played like a little bit. He started today and then just was terrible.
Yeah, no, that's been a terrible situation. So
But I
hopefully
think
he can be better.
he's one good game away from having one good game.
Yeah,
So.
he's won the Champions League final from scoring the winner.
He's one good game away from every great game.
Like, if Spurs make it to the Champions League final, which I don't think they are in still, he'll score the winner.
Or the Premier League final, right?
No,
That's how
they
do
are
it.
in a cup final though. So
True.
the
Carabao,
Carabao Cup
yes.
final is Bale needs to be started and get his bicycle kicking shoes on.
Go.
He'll be ready.
Oh shit!
Who are you guys showing out?
I love that. I love that because it's so true too. It's so true. I mean, that the bicycle kick in the final that he had. He wasn't even supposed to play that game. He kind of was hurt. Oh, we'll stick him in. He'll score a bicycle. Shit, I love it.
Scored a
Ocho.
second goal. He shot right at the goalie. The goalie just
Yeah, exactly. And the goal is just like, shit. Was that Ocho that shot that? No, it wasn't. Ocho. Who's your shout out today?
We didn't do.
Ah!
We didn't do shout outs on the last episode, so I wanted to shout out all the people responsible for giving us the modern soccer ball. This thing is fucking gorgeous.
beautiful.
And looking at the very first soccer ball that was ever made, I'm glad we've gotten to where we are because it's been nice to play with a really great soccer ball. So shout out to all those people and scientists and inventors out there.
I don't know if you guys do the visual pod, but this is the Soccer Ed's favorite soccer ball right here.
Oh,
Fuck yeah, that's a Champions League ball right there.
Oh yeah.
The ball's name we call her Sex. This is
Sex?
Cost $150.
Yeah, man.
because
They
Shove it in a $20 ball box and check out with that. They don't know the difference.
Oh god, I love that. I'm definitely gonna try it.
I just
That's how you
died. I just died.
Sporting goods, screw you.
Corporate stores, get out of here.
Yeah, no, small business, we pay full price.
Yeah.
Respect
I'm
that.
I'm blushing over here. Blushing. You guys talk about fucking balls. That's awesome. Hey, the shout out today, I think it's gonna have to go to oh my god. What do we do? Shout out to Mardi Gras. It's happening right now. No parades in New Orleans, but it's still Mardi Gras. Get you a king cake, get you anything you need. Sometimes you need to put some acai on top of the king cake, makes it even better. So I've had 3 different king cakes today, and a bunch of alcohol. Yay, Mardi Gras. Ocho, where do I get that acai?
NovaAcai.com or at Nova Acai Store on social media. Shout us out. Give me a hit. I'm the delivery guy. I'm also the books. And I'm also the CEO and also the logistics guy. There's a lot of hats I wear. So
Let's
just
go.
pick up the phone. Give me a call. Love to talk.
Guys, I
Deliver
delivered to
some acai.
Boston.
Yeah, you do long distance?
That's going to have to be quite a large order if we're doing to Boston.
Oh,
He can make it happen.
Well, if it
It's
doesn't
got to
happen,
be frozen, but we can make it happen.
if by the slim chance it doesn't, we'll be down there for next year's Mardi Gras.
Dude,
post
y'all got
COVID
some
Mardi
free
Gras
acai.
there.
Yeah.
Definitely. Free acai
be
on me.
seeing-
Don't come down here.
No, y'all come on down when we can actually enjoy some Mardi Gras. That's what we need.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That would be a good.
Neat. So I'm in a parade myself. I'll tell you all about it. I won't take up our time on the podcast, but I'll tell y'all what, fun time. We always love having you guys on because y'all are always so fucking informative. We love it.
know.
We love it, boys.
Stay
No
ready.
homo. As long as you throw a no homo in there, it means we're not trying to have sex with you. So we're
I'm
not
a
trying to
little
have sex with
disappointed you said that, honestly. but-
exactly. We're not trying to have sex with you. We just want
No,
we
no.
just want
I
sex
mean,
with
you didn't need to say it. Homo
Hey.
included.
you. Hey, but if you want to have sex, anyway, it's been a presentation of the Footy Fetish Show, where the fetish is real and the footy is soccer.